So we did that unboxing video of these S3 Turbo R tie rods. We'll put them on this Turbo R today. I'm gonna show you how to do it. First thing I'm gonna do is just take like a rough tilt measurement so we can set it back to something. So from what I'm measuring to, let's say 66 and a quarter. So 66 and a quarter, remember that. I'm gonna pick this up on a lift. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but whenever you pick up something on a lift, I always like to give her a shake. Earthquake test. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go. Set her back on the locks. Good to go. Let me just show you what we're working with here. There's pretty much only a couple things you gotta do. You gotta get this inner clamp off so you can slide the tie rod and boot off. You gotta get this castle nut off. Once you get that boot off, you take the inner out, the inner joint there. I did just break that, but you're gonna have a hard time saving that. We're gonna clamp it with something different when we put it back together anyway. Grab that inner boot with a pair of pliers or whatever you want. There we go. Slide that off. Okay. There's that stock inner tie rod. You can see the weakest part right here. That shaft neck sound pretty small, but that is to allow clearance on full droop like it is right now. So next thing you gotta do is there's some wrench flats on this inner your power steering rack. You definitely need to hold that rack from spinning and spin this off. So get a wrench that fits the inner, hold that, spin this off. Might be kind of hard to do, but make sure you hold that inner still and turn the outer knob only. So here's what size the outer tie rod is. The native one is 24. Get that on there. Put the wrench on the rack. Hold the rack and spin the outer tie rod off. So there's that. So now you got the inner tie rod there. Shoot off. The nut comes off, then you might notice that it's stuck. There you go. You are going to have to disassemble this to get this boot off, but that should be a piece of cake. So here's the inner clevis. It's an Allen head bolt. Unfortunately, I don't have the right size Allen for it, but I did make a tool bolt with 2 nuts tightened together. That slaps on there, so I should be able to get to that. So before you get that too tight, you do want to make sure that is straight up and down. There are 2 set screws on the top and the bottom for when you get it tight. Alright, been doing some disassembly. I got the old tie rod apart, got the boot off. You take that boot, you walk over here to this feeder type thing, stick that baby in there for a couple seconds. Not hot enough yet. Might be hot enough now. Yeah, I think it's hot enough. One second. Not hot enough. Heated it up, shoved it on there. Get my boot straight again. Sure that is in line with that. Both of these are loose-ish. That one assembled. So there's that one. They don't have a washer on the bottom of this, and I would really like to see one there. So I'm going to put one there. Through the magic of photography, this side's going to be done. So this is kind of dark to see, but on this other side, when I was cycling the suspension back and forth, you can see that it's super close right here. So I think I'm gonna take this back off, loosen this knuckle, and tip it just a little bit. All right, so we've got the wheels back on. The alignment's not set. We're gonna set it back on the ground. Then we're gonna take that measurement from earlier and set the toe pretty rough. Then you can slide those boots back on. So So I rolled it back and forth, jumped on it a little bit. That should give us a pretty close to the ride height measurement. We'll measure from the same spot I did before. It's 66 and a half, and I had that 66 and a quarter. Just want to make sure that they're both look about the same. Right there, 66 and a quarter. I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see we are turned out just a little bit. We are turned out just a little bit there. Run that jam nut back tight. You can see we were turned out just a little bit there. Check on this jam nut. That's really close. So I'm gonna bump those jam nuts tight. You do kind of want to make sure that that one's level and that one's straight, so you don't get them torqued a little bit. So, all right, I tightened up both jam nuts. I slid the boot back on. Everybody says put zip ties on there. Don't put zip ties on there. Get yourself some nice hose clamps. I'll just go under. Same thing for this inner boot. I got the right size hose clamp. That's good. So there you go. Hose clamp, inner and outer. So I should be back to stock coverage. That's mainly for the rack to keep stuff from getting into it. Yeah, there's your S3 tie rod end install. Piece of cake. Oh yeah. Here's that really weak spot on the factory ones. Measure that with a set of calipers, but it's barely bigger than the end of this screwdriver. It's barely a 1/4 inch. Yikes.